Ferrari might finally be giving Lewis Hamilton exactly what he needs to turn this season around. After a very tough start to his debut season with the team, full of disappointing results, unstable handling, and a car that simply hasn't suited his driving style, Ferrari is preparing to bring a major upgrade for the SF25. This isn't just a minor change or a few small improvements. This is a full performance overhaul that targets all the main issues Hamilton has been facing. The team has worked hard, behind the scenes, analyzing every detail, and now they're ready to introduce a new package that could completely change Hamilton's experience with the car. With the 2025 Formula One season already moving quickly, and teams like McLaren and Red Bull gaining ground, Ferrari knows that the time to act is now. The upgrade will debut at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola, which is one of the most important races in the first half of the season. It marks the return of the European leg of the calendar, where development becomes even more intense and every team brings major improvements. Ferrari's decision to wait until Imola instead of testing these changes in Miami was carefully thought out. The Miami Grand Prix is a sprint weekend with only one practice session before qualifying. That means there isn't enough time to properly test or adjust new parts. Imola, on the other hand, offers more time and better conditions for testing, making it the perfect opportunity for Ferrari to bring a complete upgrade package. Hamilton's struggles so far have not been a mystery. From the first race in Bahrain, where he only managed to finish 7th, to another rough outing in Saudi Arabia, Hamilton has made it clear that the SF25 isn't working the way he needs it to. He's had issues with rear-end grip, inconsistent, braking and unpredictable behavior in the corners. The car seems especially unstable during transitions between braking and accelerating, which is exactly the kind of situation where Hamilton normally thrives. His smooth driving style, which depends on precise control and strong feedback from the car, has not matched well with the SF25. The most painful part for Hamilton might be that his teammate, Charles Leclerc, has managed to get more performance out of the same car. In Jeddah, Hamilton finished a full 30 seconds behind Leclerc, which is a huge gap between teammates at this level. That has only added more pressure to an already tense situation. But now, there might be a real solution coming. Ferrari's engineers have developed a series of changes that could finally give Hamilton the kind of control and trust in the car that he's been asking for since day one. The Imola upgrade will focus on 3 main areas: floor stability, rear-end grip, and aerodynamic efficiency. These changes are designed not just to improve lap time in general, but to directly fix the areas where Hamilton has been struggling. One of the biggest changes is a redesigned floor, which will help improve ground effect by managing airflow more effectively underneath the car. This should help create more stable and predictable downforce, especially during high-speed cornering and braking. In addition to the new floor, Ferrari is bringing changes to the rear wing and beam wing. These parts help control how much drag the car produces, and they also play a big role in how much grip the rear tires generate. By reducing drag while still maintaining strong rear-end grip, Ferrari hopes to give Hamilton more stability when accelerating out of corners, which has been one of the biggest issues so far. There are also expected changes to the diffuser and side pods, which are critical areas for airflow and tire management. The diffuser helps control how air exits from underneath the car, which in turn affects both downforce and tire wear. Meanwhile, the side pods help direct air toward the rear of the car, which can influence cooling and overall aerodynamic performance. All of these changes together are designed to give the SF25 a much more balanced and reliable handling profile, which could allow Hamilton to push harder, brake later, and carry more speed through the corners. What's especially important is that Ferrari has taken Hamilton's feedback seriously. The engineers in Maranello have been studying his data, comparing it with Leclerc's, and trying to understand exactly why the car isn't responding the way Hamilton wants it to. This level of attention shows that Ferrari is fully committed to making this partnership work. They understand that Hamilton's driving style is different, and they're making a real effort to adapt the car to suit him better. Ferrari's team principal, Fred Vasseur, has made it clear that qualifying has been their biggest weakness in 2025. He said that the reason they haven't been fighting at the very front is because they haven't been able to get the most out of the car on Saturdays. That's especially true for Hamilton, who has often found himself starting too far back on the grid to be in the mix for podiums or wins. By improving the rear-end grip and overall balance of the car, Ferrari hopes to give Hamilton the confidence to attack during qualifying, which would put him in a much better position to fight for top results on Sunday. The timing of this upgrade couldn't be more important. With McLaren showing strong improvement and Red Bull still performing well, despite their internal challenges, Ferrari needs to make a move to stay in the fight. Leclerc's podium finish in Saudi Arabia showed that the car has potential, but it also made clear that it's a very tricky car to understand. For Hamilton, who is still adjusting to a new team, a new environment, and a new car philosophy after years at Mercedes, this upgrade could be the first real step toward building that connection. If these changes work as planned, Hamilton could finally start to feel like he's in control again. He could stop fighting the car and start driving it the way he knows how. That would change everything, not just for his results, but for the mood inside Ferrari. Confidence builds momentum, and momentum can quickly turn a season around. But at the same time, the expectations are huge. Ferrari hasn't won a Drivers' Championship since 2007. They brought Hamilton in with the hope that he could be the one to end that drought. If this upgrade doesn't deliver, the questions will come fast. Did Ferrari make the wrong decision? Can they really give Hamilton what he needs? And how long will Hamilton be willing to wait before doubts start to grow? Hamilton himself has already shown signs of frustration. After Jeddah, he said that it felt like there was no fix for the problems he was facing. That's not something you expect to hear from a 7-time world champion unless the situation is really serious. If Imola comes and goes without a significant improvement, the pressure will only get worse. The media will start asking tough questions, the fans will start to worry, and even within the team, tensions could start to rise. That's why Imola is more than just another race. It's a test, not just of the SF25's potential, but of the entire direction Ferrari is taking with this project. It's a test of whether the team can learn from its mistakes, respond to its drivers, and compete at the very highest level. It's also a test of Hamilton's patience, his adaptability, and his belief in this new chapter of his career. Ferrari needs to show that they can deliver upgrades that actually work. They need to prove that they can improve the car quickly and give their drivers a real chance to fight. And most of all, they need to prove to Hamilton that he made the right decision in joining them. Because if they don't, this story could take a very different turn. The risk is high, but so is the reward. If Ferrari's upgrade package works and the SF25 becomes a car Hamilton can trust, then the entire tone of this season could shift. Suddenly, Hamilton could go from midfield struggles to front-row starts. He could go from defending his position to attacking for podiums, and most importantly, he could start feeling like himself again, a driver capable of fighting for wins and championships. But that's still a big if. Upgrades are always a gamble, especially when they're this complex. They depend on everything working together perfectly: the aerodynamics, the suspension, the balance, the tire wear. If even one part doesn't deliver as expected,